AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Talk to Jeff Duncan next hour. If you missed it, Julian Blackmon, Saints safety, out for the season. Torn labrum, unfortunate injury in week 1 for the New Orleans Saints. We'll get some more Saints news here in about 15 minutes from right now. Every Monday during the college football season, we welcome aboard Peter Burns from the SEC Network. Hit it, Muse.
This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense. Throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
Hey, Peter, man. How are you?
Hey, 299! Get out!
Check out Channel 9. Check out this chick. For those who don't know, it's an Office Space reference. If you haven't seen it, see it. You'll get it. Okay.
The guy's spitting on the USF player. Talk about he spit.
Hey, man. The pressing matter before we recap, everyone wants to know, do you and Doring have terms of the bet yet for this year?
That we have locked in. We have come to an agreement on the said bet, which will be actually debuted on Friday at 10 a.m. So the bet has been decided on. There was a lot of negotiations. Lawyers got involved. HR got involved, but we got it. We're in.
So we have the photo up right there for those who didn't see it a year ago. With LSU's loss to Florida, Peter had to dress up as a Florida band member. In the past, we've seen Doring dress up as a clown. He had to wear, remember the LSU National Championship baseball bet. He had to fly to SEC Media Days, full LSU baseball uniform, which was awesome. I think he actually enjoyed that one. What are some others that Doring had to do amid that long losing streak?
One time it was Chris Doring because it was in the middle of Oktoberfest, so he had to dress up like the Oktoberfest guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had to dress up like Tiger King in 2020. You know, I'm never going to financially recover from this. He had that, of course, the clown, which was BK's first year, which is great because BK had no idea he was going to be in full clown gear. And, we had him do a turkey one year. So I think it's, 5-1.
Yeah.
But I'm on the losing streak right now.
Well, it's not a streak. It's just one. What do they say? 1, 2 in a row, then 3 is a streak? Is that how it goes? So let's not get to a streak. Let's not get to 2-0. We'll talk about that game here in just a sec. Hey, I guess the more relevant question then is about this Florida team in South Florida. Peter, what the heck happened, man?
Well, I mean, South Florida was alive. We talked about that all week long. Like, if you watch South Florida in week 1, they put a beat down on a fairly good Boise State team. That wasn't, they kind of won. I mean, they beat the hell out of them. And so, you knew that was going to be an interesting opponent. I don't think it was a look-ahead game. I think that if you go back and watch it, Florida just kept shooting themselves in the foot. And that's one thing, and trust me, nobody is a bigger fan than Chris Doring, my co-host. And I asked him, we had dinner last night, and we broke down film this morning. I'm like, what the hell happened? And he goes, man, it's just every time that you couldn't have a penalty, they had a penalty. Every time that they had a guy wide open, there'd be a drop, or Lagway would do it. It was just kind of a cavalcade of just all of this avalanche of mistakes. And all of a sudden, South Florida felt that they had an opportunity, and boom, all of a sudden, Billy Napier's in the same spot that he was last year. And Scott Strickland gave him another vote of confidence, just like he did last year after that Texas game.
It'll be fascinating to see how Florida might bounce back. On the other side of the spectrum is Mississippi State, man. I mean, there's the obvious part of getting a win over the number 12 team in the country and all that stuff and the dramatic nature that it happened, Peter. But if you try to go like pull back 10,000-foot view, how significant is that win for that program?
It's significant inside the walls of that football facility. I had Jeff Lebby on my show today, and man, you could just tell like it was just the weight was off his shoulder that he finally got a good victory. And more importantly, I mean, kind of not unlike how it is in Baton Rouge right now, they did it because they actually played good defense when they needed to. Right, last year the defense was atrocious. And, you know, that fan base has dealt with a lot after the passing of Mike Leach, and they hired Arnett. That was probably the right thing to do. But, you know, he was kind of in a flux in the transfer portal over the last year or so, and that win was big. Now, listen, I don't think Arizona State's going to end up being a top 20 team at the end of the year. But the way you won it that way, Levy needed a victory like that. And I'll tell you, Blake Shapin's a dude. A lot of people don't remember. I mean, it was a horrific year last year because the defense was bad. But Blake Shapin went down in week 2, if I'm not mistaken. And so they're a different team when Shapin's 100% healthy.
I mean, people here remember that, of course, because Michael Van Buren ended up starting 8 games and now is at LSU. So people are pretty well aware. And Shapin's, of course, a Shreveport kid from Evangel up in North Louisiana. But you're right. That Levy offense, if it gets going, it'll be fascinating to see what may happen there. Peter, the other big one, which was the biggest one nationally, was Michigan-Oklahoma. We talked about this at media days, and I kind of had this feeling that people were hyping all these quarterbacks in the SEC. Arch, Lagway, Sellers, and I put Mateer in that list as well without having seen any of them actually do it. There's still major questions about all the other ones. Have we answered all the questions to the affirmative about John Mateer through 2 weeks?
I mean, so far, because I think that's a good defense. I don't think it's a great defense that Michigan has, unlike like the national championship year that they had when they were stealing signs. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, I mean, I think it's legit. And Mateer is, I mean, you got to realize too, Matt, he did that with 2 brand new freshmen on the offensive line. I mean, they basically had a brand new offensive line for that game, playing a bunch of new dudes, and he still was able to make some plays with his leg, get out of the pocket, and throw the ball downfield. It was really impressive. And really, it kind of reminds you of the same blueprint that Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt and Clark Lee had last year, right? We're going to not only bring in our quarterback, we're going to bring in the coordinator as well. They did that for New Mexico State for Pavia, and now that's what basically Brent Venables did. He got Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator, for John Mateer, and says, all right, y'all are a package deal. Y'all come together. The defense was good. And the difference in that game was Mateer was 8 of 13 against the blitz. He made plays. Bryce Underwood on the road, the blitz. And that ultimately was the difference in that game.
You just hated to see it, right? Bryce Underwood struggling there on his first road start. It was devastating to see that happen.
I know I know you've talked about it, and I've been ad nauseum banging the drum with this. Bryce Underwood flipping still is the best thing. When we look back at LSU being a college football playoff team, okay, I don't know if they're a national championship team, but I know they're a college football playoff team. I think the catalyst of that, just like when Joe Burrow got knocked the F out against UCF, and it was his origin story, the origin story of LSU making the college football playoff was Bryce Underwood flipping, and everybody got, the fire underneath them, and they went on that spree, and that's the reason why this team is different this year, because Bryce went up there.
This audience has heard me talk about that plenty. In the short term, no doubt, this team is what they are. The catalyst was Underwood flipping. It remains to be seen if that's long term the best thing for this program. Look, PB, LSU hoisted a trophy this year.
I think Bryce has a generational talent to him. Like, I know that's the term. I think he is that piece. But keep in mind as well too, right? Like, in this world, it used to be, hey, when somebody flipped last second and before the transfer portal, it was middle fingers to the world and I hate you and blah, blah, blah. Now I think fan bases are smart to understand, hey, if we missed out on this guy last second, there's a pretty good chance. There might be a chance that this 5-star kid gets back into the transfer portal down the road. And if he looked at LSU once, maybe down the road there's a fit for him.
Yeah, great point. Last thing, I picked Vandy and Mizzou both to lose their non-conference games this week, and both won it. Mizzou-Kansas was a close game. Mizzou scored late to make it look better. Vandy blew the doors off Virginia Tech in the second half, which was incredible. Are they good? Are Vandy and Mizzou good?
They're live. I talked to Clark Lee in the offseason, and he came on the show this morning, and they just have a lot of depth, and they play really, really good disciplined football. And so they're not having to run Diego Pavia every single damn play like they did last year, so they can keep him a little fresher. And defensively, I think they're legit. I mean, Clark's got a good squad. I think Missouri's really good. And the conversations that I had with Blake Baker when I was down there for doing some stuff in Baton Rouge, I asked Blake, I was like, dude, is Drake, I like him, but what's the deal? And he's like, this is a coaching SOB. And he goes, he doesn't look the part of a big college football coach. I mean, hell, he came on the show this morning and declared himself the biggest dork of college football. But that guy can coach. And I'll make the point, an argument. This team offensively, even though they don't have Luther Burden or Theo Weiss or Brady Cook, they're actually better. Bo Prabula is a player, man. He's right there with McKeer as far as the biggest surprises so far this season.
Okay. I'm going to file that one away. I'm not going to be convinced I'm there with you yet.
Don't ask me to come on your show if you're going to call me out on BS, man.
I'm not calling BS. I'm just going to file that one away. We're going to take your clip that you're all in on Prabula. We're going to clip that. We're just going to put it on the shelf. We're going to remember that it's there. And at some point during the year, we're going to bring it. We're going to dust it off the shelf. We're going to blow some of the dust off of it. And we're going to play that back. And we're going to confirm or disconfirm your feeling. Bo Prabula. Peter Burns. All right, PB.
I said, yeah.
No, sorry. No, good.
He's good. He's not the end of the world. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, we're going to blow off the dust on a lot of the DJ Lagway takes this weekend, and I can't freaking wait for it. I mean, BK was calling it out today, asking for the crowd to be there. That place is going to be lit. I land on Thursday, and I'm already drinking right now.
All right. The real question, are you going to be watching the game from the field with your SEC Network press pass, or are you going to be watching the game in the stands, drinking some cold beer?
1,000,000% chance not be wearing any SEC Network or ESPN gear when I'm down there for that game. Now, I can't wear purple because I go out there and I see, I can't. I'll be wearing some neutral colors, but there will be nothing that signifies that I am an employee. I will be there upon my own volition as a fan, and I'll put it that way.
Peter Burns with us, courtesy of the good people over at Blue Delta Jeans. Get to BlueDeltaJeans.com, BlueDeltaJeans.com. Best jeans you'll ever wear in the history of your life, BlueDeltaJeans.com. BB, you're the best, man. Safe travels. Always appreciate the time, and we'll look for you, if not this weekend, certainly next Monday.
Wait. See you, boys.
Later, dude. That's Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Oh, can't wait to see what the bet is with Doring. Shoes on the other foot, man. LSU won this game a couple times as a significant underdog. COVID year with the kick through the fog. Weren't they a 20-point dog in 21 as well whenever Ty Davis-Price ran for like 400 yards? Something like that.
They were definitely a 3-score dog. It might have been more than that.
Oh, it was a big dog.
It was bad.
That was the game where TDP ran. We ran
300 yards.
300,
300 yards.
315, whatever it was.
On the same play over and over again.
Just to keep run it again.
Yeah, until they can stop it.
Run it again. All right, it's after further review. Always appreciate Peter for the time. Jeff Duncan in 1 hour. When we come back, there was some disappointing news for the New Orleans Saints on top of the loss. They did lose a starter for the season. We'll talk about that next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Listen, yes, they do ED treatments. That's part of what they do. They've got the oral medication, but they got a lot of different other treatments. Maybe you've tried the pills before, it hasn't worked. They've got other things that can help. It's only a part of what they do. At Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, the core of what they do is helping you feel better, helping you feel like your younger self. Remember what it was like to wake up in the morning, let your feet hit the ground, and you were bursting with energy? Where you were motivated to get in the gym? Where when you got in the gym, you could burn fat and build muscle? Where you felt strong? Where you had great libido and energy throughout the day? You could do that. Hormone replacement therapy could be the answer. So many different peptides that they offer, like NAD+. BPC 157 will help you heal from injuries you might be dealing with. It's been great results for me for my back. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us here. About 15 minutes, we got updated college football playoff and Heisman odds that we'll get to. Some movement for LSU after their win, sloppy, sluggish win over Louisiana Tech this past weekend in Tiger Stadium. Thanks to Peter Burns, who was just with us. Jeff Duncan will be here in about a little less than an hour from right now. So the Saints lose the opener of the Kellen Moore era, 20-13 to the Cardinals, but they have lost more than that. Kellen Moore at his Monday press conference with an injury update on safety Julian Blackmon.
The main one that came out of our game was Julian Blackmon. Unfortunate injury, shoulder, and so that'll probably it'll be a long one. It'll be a long one potentially for the full season, and so that's a tough one.
Deja vu all over again. A team that was injury prone, snake bitten, call it whatever you want, a year ago. They ended up playing with what felt like a practice squad preseason roster. You lose Julian Blackmon, one of your free agent acquisitions, a veteran safety, the first game of the season. And you might ask yourself, how important is Julian Blackmon anyway?
Matt, how important is Julian Blackmon anyway?
So you might ask yourself.
Oh, self. I guess I could have been done that. My name's Matt.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
You might ask, you might say, Scone, how important is Julian Blackmon?
Scone, how important is Julian Blackmon?
I'm glad you asked, Muse. That's why I like you. You're always on top of things. Julian Blackmon had 7 tackles for the New Orleans Saints with a torn labrum. 1 pass defense in the game. And if you trust the folks over at Pro Football Focus, Demario Davis had the highest grade among defenders, a 90.7. Friggin' ageless wonder, Demario Davis, the man of God, incredible. A 90. You don't see 90s in Pro Football Focus. The second highest graded defender, you may ask, Scone, who was the second highest graded defender?
Scone, who was the second highest graded defender?
Thanks, Muse. Well, it was Julian Blackmon. He graded out an 83.9. With a torn labrum. Ellen Moore was asked about this. Like, when did they know he was hurt?
It really wasn't until after the game that it was recognized.
What?
And so really even after the game, like once Julian went home. And so bummer for him just because he's done such an amazing job of coming in here and putting himself in an awesome position to have a great season. And he played great on Sunday as well.
Look at pass coverage grades from Sunday. Highest grade in pass coverage was Carl Granderson. That's a problem. You might say, well, Scone, after noted lockdown defensive back Carl Granderson, who was the second highest graded in pass coverage for the New Orleans Saints.
Scone, after lockdown defensive back, noted lockdown defensive back Carl Granderson, who was the second highest graded in pass coverage?
Glad you asked, Muse. Probably not going to surprise you. It was Julian Blackmon.
Yeah.
He allowed 2 receptions for 7 yards, a long of 4. I mean, 3 tackles, no missed tackles. It's a bummer because obviously Tyron retired, and you had a big shuffle in the secondary, we know, right? Like, Tyron retired. Jordan Howden has not emerged like you thought he would. You drafted Jonas Sanker out of Virginia. You signed Justin Reed, and he's been a starter for you there. But you brought in, and then Alontae Taylor last year. I think we all realize he's probably better, more of a nickel, strong safety than a boundary corner. It's just more where he's a more natural fit than playing boundary corner. You brought Isaac Yiadom back. But you went and added these veteran players and Julian Blackmon and Justin Reed to be better at a position where you weren't very good a year ago. Now, Tyron led your team in tackles, but just because you lead the team in tackles doesn't necessarily mean you had a great season. Like someone's got to make tackles. But this is a guy that performed very well for you on Sunday in a game where you did a good job of limiting Kyler Murray in the pass game, where they boast 2 really good receivers, certainly Marvin Harrison Jr., who looks like he might be one of the breakout stars of this NFL season, and then a guy in McBride who, by the end of the season, we could look at and say is the best pass-catching tight end in the NFL. Could we? That's a possibility at the end of the season. So Kellen Moore was asked on Monday, so Blackmon out likely for the season here with the torn labrum. What do they do at safety without him?
We'll definitely have to have those conversations to put ourselves in a position. We certainly feel like we have a number of guys. Early in this process, we've invested in a lot of those guys to get a ton of reps, and so we feel like we're not bringing someone in that isn't familiar with this thing. We got a number of guys who can go play that, and that's a conversation that we'll have to have tomorrow, just to narrow our focus and put someone in a position, or a combination of a couple guys, put them in position to be ready for Sunday.
You have 5 safeties on the roster. You have 5 safeties on the roster. You have Blackmon and Reed, of course, Howden, Jonas Sanker, and Ugo Amadi. And Amadi is a special teamer who can give you backup depth at safety. So the question they have to ask is, do you feel like Jordan Howden or Jonas Sanker are ready to go be a starter? Or do you go look in free agency or to make a trade? Now, I'll be very clear about this. I am not in any way whatsoever going to be okay with the New Orleans Saints making a trade for a safety. This team is not going to be good. They're not going anywhere. Do not give up future assets to bring in a safety. Like, you do not go buy new furniture for a sinking ship. It doesn't make a lick of sense. So, no, you do not trade for a safety. If you want to go look at free agents, you can. By the way, Marcus Williams is currently unsigned. Not saying, just saying. Marcus Williams, Justin Simmons, Jordan Whitehead, Jordan Poyer, Marcus May. You've got some veteran, Von Bell. You've got some, again, dudes mostly who are past their prime, but might be a better option as a veteran player than running a rookie like Jonas Sanker out there. So we'll see what they elect to do. What you can afford to do, the good news for the Saints is they got plenty of cap space. If they want to go sign a free agent, they can do that. And you can add a veteran. I will not be okay with trading, giving up a future asset to make this team better, because this team isn't going to be good. You can certainly go sign a veteran among the ones we just mentioned, or you try to see what you have in your young guys, which is the point that I've kind of made all throughout the offseason that I'm interested in. Now, I understand if you're Kellen Moore, you're out there trying to win football games, and I understand that. I'm not saying you tank, and I'm not suggesting they're going to. But I think you also have to face reality that this is you're looking with a longer-term view. And, I would like to know if Jonas Sanker is capable of being a starting NFL safety. So let's find out. This is not how you want to have to find out, but let's find out if he's capable of being that guy. The situation is unenviable, but it's what's presented to you. Live in the now with the opportunity to build for the future. A long-term view is what they have to be looking for right now in New Orleans. It's very unfortunate, man. Julian Blackmon, with a torn labrum, played the entire game and was awesome for New Orleans on Sunday. And after just one game, he's apparently done for the rest of the year. We'll see what the Saints do to try to supplement at that position. When they do, we'll certainly talk about it here. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Hey, remember, especially for those of you who live in the coastal region or southwest Louisiana, shout out to all of our Lake Charles, southwest Louisiana audience. The Louisiana Department of Insurance has opened up for 4 more days through the 12th a window to apply for a fortified roof grant. These are $10,000 grants from the Louisiana Department of Insurance to fortify your roof. Again, for this, there will be 500 grants awarded, and you can enter at the Louisiana Department of Insurance website. If you want to learn more about about what a fortified roof is, you can go to our website, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. But listen, when you go apply, you choose your contractor among the certified fortified roofing contractors. Well, we at Parish were the first certified, Louisiana-based certified fortified roofing company. So we'd love to help you out. When you choose your contractor, we'd love it if you choose Parish Construction and Roofing. And by the way, even if it's not a fortified roof, no matter where you are in Louisiana, repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, we could do your gutters, we fabricate our own metal. We even do soft wash. You want to soft wash your roof, your whole house, we do it all. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing, ParishBuilt.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition. Halfway home already, show's flying by. If you missed the open of the show, we led with my thoughts on the LSU Louisiana Tech game, followed by the Saints' loss in Kellen Moore's debut. If you miss any of that, you can catch it on demand, podcast, YouTube, whichever you'd prefer to listen or to watch. Just search AFR LSU or AFR Saints. You can get all of our content right there. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Usually have Tigers and the Pros in about 15 minutes from right now. We'll let you hear more of what Brian Kelly had to say on his Monday press conference as LSU turns the page into Florida week. And Jeff Duncan, 45 minutes from right now, we'll talk some black and gold. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Monday edition of AFR. Stick around.
After further review.
Got issues with your AC? Call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime, and where they have more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest competitor. I love reading these to you. Here's one from Alex who said, if you don't use River City's 1 Hour Air, you must not want your HVAC working right. These people are so knowledgeable, professional, and never rush you into a decision. They explain everything and allow you to make an informed decision. Another 5-star Google review, that one from Alex Barnes. And I know I mentioned this, but it's true. They're not going to force a service on you, especially something you don't need. They're going to explain a good, better, and best option and let you decide what's best for you, your family, and your budget. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side, 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
I can't predict, what happened with them versus this week. They were the better team. They didn't play to their standard. So they're going to play to their standard this week, and we know that. Playing Florida is always a big game on everybody's schedule. We'll just need to worry about ourselves and play to our standard.
Was Florida the better team against South Florida? I mean, if you look at, blue chip ratio and all that stuff, you could maybe make the case, but South Florida won that game 18-16, and they outgained the Gators 391 to 355. They outpassed them 263 to 222. The rushing was about equal. It was 133 to 128. Florida with a 5-yard edge there. First downs were even, 20 to 20. I mean, Florida committed 11 penalties. South Florida committed 9. Florida had the 1 turnover. South Florida didn't turn the ball over. But, so it's not like it was one of those fluke things where Florida committed 4 turnovers that led to 14 points and, it missed a field goal. Like, it wasn't one of those things. Like, they got beat. I just think Florida is in a rough way, man. It's so interesting, too, because Scott Strickland has, planted his flag in the ground. He has drawn a line in the sand where he's firmly supporting Billy Napier, and it feels like the captain that's going to go down with the ship. And it's an interesting lesson learned because athletic directors that hire coaches are more likely to give that coach more rope, more leeway, because if you fire that coach, it's a reflection on you because you're the one that hired them. I mean, intellectually this makes sense, but people wonder why did he fire Billy Napier? Well, he's the one who hired him. You go to boosters and say, hey, we got to fire the coach, and this is the guy that I'm going to hire. We're going to fire Dan Mullen, pay all that buyout money. We're going to go hire Billy Napier. Cool. Here's all the money you need to fire Dan Mullen. Here's the money you need to hire Billy Napier. And it don't work. Now you're going to go back to those people and say, now I need money to fire this guy and hire the next one. They're going to go, wait, didn't we just do this 3 years ago? So that's why athletic directors give more rope to the guys they hire. But this feels like, the way they finished last year, they were supposed to carry that momentum into this year. And a loss like this is devastating. And when you look at the difference in the game a season ago, it was Florida's defensive line. And do you remember this? You might have tried to block it out of your mind. But a year ago, Florida had 7 sacks and 11 TFLs against LSU. I don't want to be too preliminary in breaking down this game yet. We got all week to do it. But that was the problem. LSU's offensive line could not block Florida's defensive front. Well, Shamar James is in the NFL. Caleb Banks has been injured. They lost another starter with a broken foot. And another knucklehead might be suspended after spitting on a dude from South Florida. The thing that was a heavy advantage for Florida in the game last year looks like a shell of that. Oh no, by the way, Jack Pyburn now is actually going to be playing on LSU's team when he was playing for Florida last year in this game. There's a reason LSU's a 9.5-point favorite. I don't know if the line has moved, but it opened 9.5. That feels like a big number. It is a big number, but there's a reason. LSU's defense looks awesome. Florida's offense does not. This game's in Baton Rouge at night, and I believe LSU, for as much as Florida just got a wake-up call with their loss to South Florida, I think LSU got their own wake-up call with the close call against Louisiana Tech. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Brought to you by ARCO. New partner of ours here on the show, ARCO Power Systems. They're a Generac industrial power dealer, ARCCO, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. It's this simple. These are not residential generators. Okay, so we're not talking about for your house. That's not what this is. If you own a business or work at a business, think about what would happen to your business if you lose power. You lose power during a storm. You lose power on any given day. What happens to your business if you don't have power? We work at a radio station. We have a giant industrial generator in the back of this building because going off air is not an option. Is going offline an option for your business? Probably not. These are critical backup energy solutions for the industrial sector. Industrial sector and basically any business. They can install permanent generators at your place of business. They have rental options. And yes, they can service any industrial generator as well. It's ARCO Power Systems. Such an impressive business. They work as far west as San Antonio, east to Mobile, and they're about to open up an office in Little Rock, Houston, Dallas. All over the place. Such an impressive business. If your company needs backup generator power, you want Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. Look them up online, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. For what it's worth, our friends over at DraftKings have updated the lines for the college football playoff and for the Heisman coming up after this week 2 in college football. The biggest risers for the CFP, Utah went from 100-1 to 50-1. South Florida went from 1,000-1 to 200-1. The biggest fall is, by the way, is to win the national championship, not just to make the playoff. Florida just plummeted 33-1 to 66-1. SMU down from 100-1 to 250-1. 64 teams fell off the board entirely. John Mateer is now the betting favorite for the Heisman, just nosing past Garrett Nussmeier after this weekend. To win the college football playoff, as it stands right now, Ohio State is the betting favorite to win the national championship. Their odds got shorter from 625 to 525. They got longer. They got shorter from plus 625 plus 525. Penn State, Georgia, Texas, and then LSU fifth. LSU plus 850 to win the national title coming after this weekend. Surprisingly, Oregon. Now, they went from 16-1 to 10-1, but still, Oregon, after the way they absolutely just whitewashed Oklahoma State. Surprised to see where they are. But anyway, if you want to place those futures bets, you can with our friends over at DraftKings. We'll keep an eye on those as we move throughout the season, but Garrett Nussmeier has a massive opportunity this week. I mean, this is going to be the primetime game on ABC. We just found out Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath will be on the call for those wondering. Massive opportunity, night game on ABC. The country will be watching LSU, Florida at night, prime time on ABC. And if Garrett Nussmeier goes out and has a 300-yard passing day with 3 touchdowns and LSU wins going away against Florida, it's one of those things that could catapult him back into the forefront. John Mateer had it. John Mateer had the stage to himself this past weekend. The Oklahoma-Michigan game was the one everybody was watching. Mateer played very well. Oklahoma got the win. He moves up, right? Just like a week before, it was Nussmeier. Nussmeier had the stage. He played a flawless game against Clemson. LSU gets the win, and Nussmeier became the betting favorite. So you're going to see that movement all throughout the year, but this is a great opportunity for Nussmeier maybe to retake the lead there as the betting favorite for the Heisman if in fact Tigers can go get the win and Nuss can play well. All right, it's after further review, y'all. Let's knock out our final break of hour number 2. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the pros. We'll let you hear more what Brian Kelly had to say at his Monday press conference. Jeff Duncan's here in 30 minutes from right now. We got our college football takeaways in hour number 3. Ton to do still, so don't you move. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows.
After further review.
Presented by Relief Windows. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. By the way, hat tipped our friends over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. They have signed, sealed, delivered, and finalized their NIL deal with, can we call him the Tiger King? I don't know. Garrett Nussmeier, newest member of the G team. And if you've not seen the commercial they did yet, it's on social media. It's hilarious. They're standing there in front of like the white backdrop. It's Gordon and Garrett, and Gordon's teaching them how to do the get Gordon, get it done, the snap and the point. And he's giving them all the different cues about how not to put your hand in front of your face when you're snapping and point. It's very well done. You can check it out on all the social media with Gordon and Garrett. But number 13 for the Tigers, the newest member of the G team. Gordon, of course, the original Gordfather of NIL, adding Garrett Nussmeier as well. You've been injured, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 1. Appreciate Brandon Holly, the whole gang over at Relief Windows. Windows door siding, they do shutters as well. They do it better than anyone. They're Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. So check them out. Schedule that consultation. Go see one of their associates right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, we're wrapping up hour number 2. Let's see. Brian Kelly met with reporters for his press conference coming up right at the top of the hour. We'll dive a little deeper into what he had to say as they turn the page to Florida. But right now, Muso has Tigers and the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Matt Super Bowl pick for the 17th year in a row. They got a win to open the season.
I mean, you cowards. Oh, I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Neither of us picked the
I'll go
Eagles.
with the Eagles against the Bills. I'll go with the Eagles against the Chiefs. Let's go with the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Please no. I tell you what,
I don't remember who you picked. Was that insignificant?
it wasn't pretty for the Bengals, but they got the win. Joe Burrow, 14 of 23 for $113 and a touchdown. He also ran the ball twice
MVP.
for 3 yards.
Lock it up.
Jamar Chase, 2 receptions for 26 yards.
MVP.
But
Lock
they won
it
the
up.
game
Offensive
because
player of the year.
Their defense, pretty darn good. How about that, at least in this game? Now,
How about that, Muse?
The Browns stink.
What did everybody say about the Bengals that they didn't have?
Defense.
What was the knock on them, Muse? What did you
defense.
say last week?
I don't trust their defense.
Yeah.
Guess what? I still don't.
And guess what happened?
The Browns are
They
terrible.
went and did the seatbelt for 3 hours.
The seatbelt.
Seatbelt. Locked them down.
They locked up.
Even on a day where Joey B just decided to yawn his way through it a little bit. Seatbelt. You know what he was doing, Muse? He was tanking the game offensively just to prove the defense could do it.
Okay.
Seatbelt.
All right. Grant
Sword.
Delpit. Grant Delpit was at the sword. There's new ones. We got to keep them up to date.
No, but
that's what I heard.
Just a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a seatbelt.
They got all kind of things that they do. Grant Delpit had 4 stops on the other side for the Cleveland Browns. Jaden Daniels did have a really good day offensively for the Washington Commanders against the terrible Giants team. 233 yards through the air for JD, 5, a touchdown. He also added 68 yards on the ground for himself. So over 300 yards of offense. He picked up right where he left off. Malik Neighbors on the other side, when he wasn't fighting with his head coach, he was catching 5 receptions for 71 yards in the ball game. How about Kayshon Boutte?
How about him?
Do you see this?
He's back.
Leading receiver for the New England Patriots
Back.
a day ago. 6 receptions, 103 yards, and a long of 24. That's awesome, man. I really hope he keeps that going throughout the rest of the year.
He's back.
And then Will Campbell.
You have him on your fantasy team?
I don't. I don't play fantasy.
Whatever. You too good for that?
No, I just don't
Sounds
do
like
it.
you're too good for it.
No.
I don't play fantasy.
No, much respect. A lot of people do. It's very popular.
play
Much respect to those people. Will Campbell obviously gets his first start right in the NFL. Recovered a fumble in the game. So shout out to Will Campbell. Yeah, we love that. Kayvon Chason for the Patriots defense. Patriots, man. A lot of LSU guys, like old times. 3 tackles, a half a sack, and he had an additional hit on the quarterback as well in that ball game. And a couple more to get to here.
Yeah, whenever,
Patrick
whenever
Queen.
you're ready,
Sorry,
go ahead and get to him.
I lost it.
Go ahead and get to him.
Patrick Queen, 8 tackles in
Not
the
a
ball
bit.
game, 5 of those solo for the Steelers.
How about Aaron?
They got the win. I mean, Fountain of Youth, or
Against the Jets.
was he just really angry that the Jets?
He wasn't bad last year. He wasn't the problem for the Jets last year.
Clearly.
He played every game and threw for 3,000
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's solid. 4 tuds yesterday for Aaron Rodgers.
Jets.
And yeah, the Jets, man.
Aaron a year ago threw for 3,897 yards. He was just shy of 4,000 yards, 28 tuds, 11 interceptions. Like, he weren't the problem for the Jets last year. He were not the problem.
This is a random aside.
He might not have been the answer, but he wasn't the problem.
Okay, but to be fair, we don't know who the hell's the answer for the New York Jets. They are absolutely atrocious. Like, they are the worst run organization in the league. Clearly, no, come on. Bro, they have to be.
Browns. Look at the quarterback list for the Browns.
I know.
Over the last 25 years.
But at least
the Browns.
The Browns can field a competent defense.
The answer is
the Jets are horrible.
The Jets had great defenses under Robert Saleh. Like,
they did have good
the
defenses
answer,
under Robert Saleh.
The Jets are not far down the list. But the answer is the Cleveland Browns.
The random aside I was going to get to with Aaron Rodgers, we have completely deviated from Tigers in the Pros. I hate when people call him A-Rod. He's not A-Rod.
No,
okay,
not.
There's one A-Rod. He played baseball. And he was really darn good. Don't call him
What
that.
about A-Raj?
A-Raj, I'd take. A-Ron like you did. I think that's good. Or how about this? Aaron Rodgers. Just call the man his name. Not everybody has to have a nickname. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Look at Muse bringing the hot takes today. If you're hot with takes like Muse, cool off with a delicious, refreshing Evermore. Picked up some Evermore yesterday. We were out of it at the house. Got a 4-pack of the 64-ounce bottles. Got a 12-pack of the 20-ounce bottles. They're in the fridge outside at my house. Refreshing and delicious. Send me your pics of your Evermore bottles. That's what I mean. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. All right. Sports Center's coming up. It's caught up on national headlines here. Come back. Is LSU ready to defend against the one thing that crushed them a year ago? Start turning the page to Florida next. AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, I know for a lot of y'all, like I know this for a fact, a lot of y'all right now getting ready for hunting season. Now, you know I don't hunt. I very much endorse your right to do so and very much enjoy eating the things that you shoot. But a lot of y'all love that, man. Y'all love to wake up before the sun even comes up, get out to your hunting property, get up in that deer stand, just wait for Bambi to come by. Boom! Then you're eating that deer for a year. Love that. But a lot of you also hate sharing a lease with someone else. You want your own spot. You know who can make that happen? First South Farm Credit. They've been helping Louisianians buy land for more than a century. FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Remember that website. Go now to FirstSouthLand.com.